All right, guys. Got some bad news. If you follow the matrix, it's gonna be down for a while. Let me tell you what happened. So, get this right here. I was driving to work about 2 weeks ago. It was on Friday, and the car started wanting to overheat. It wasn't completely hot, but it was running a lot warmer than usual. Let me kind of just show you. All right. So you see right there. So pretty much, look at my shadow, right? So it kind of likes hovering right there at the bottom of, yeah, you know what? Probably in the middle of, right in the middle, almost halfway, right below halfway, kind of where that little second line is on that thermometer. It likes hovering right there. That's normal temperature. It was climbing about 3/4, so it was about, just follow my shadow because my camera's not picking it up really good. It was climbing right there, about 3/4 to the H line. So automatically, I threw on my heater on full blast. It's supposed to help when your car's running warm or starting to overheat. It relieves, heat out, basically cycles it out or whatever on terminology. So it helped it kind of maintain where it was going because it was climbing up, or it brought it back down once I did that. I basically limped it to work the next 2 miles. I made sure I didn't get too close to that hot line, to the H line. It was at 3/4. You don't want to run these cars for too long, too hot, because it's an aluminum block. They warp. A lot of bad stuff can happen. I'm not a mechanic, but just kind of what common knowledge and stuff that I've read and whatever. Anyways, got exited off the freeway, kind of just shut it off at the stoplight with the accessory on so the fan can run, continue to cool it. Green lights, turn it back on, made it to work real fast, without it getting too hot. On lunch, my coworker, me and my coworker, we went out to go inspect. We went to go inspect what was going on and check the coolant. So when we had checked the coolant, I couldn't see anything in there. So he had some peak coolant or whatever, some 50/50. So, not type of stuff I really like to use, but beggars can't be choosers. So we go ahead, he had about 3/4 of a gallon. That thing took it all, and it didn't even top it off yet. So that was pretty worrying. My first thing I was thinking, just like, when I was trying to think about it, the last time that I checked the coolant after we did the timing chain cover gasket job, which was like 2 years ago. So I thought maybe I was neglectful and I haven't checked it. Maybe I have a leak. I don't know how fast the coolant evaporates or whatever the case is. I just knew it was low. I checked the dipstick. The oil looked fine. So that enough to get me home, no problem. I checked the dipstick again when I got home. Looked normal. So the next day, I did a drain. I drained the cap right there, and then I pulled the hose right here, and I drained everything completely. I ran some distilled water and let it kind of just flow through. Nothing looked funky. Draining it. Plugged everything back up, the cap, put the hose back on, put my jug on there so it can burp it, filled it with Toyota OEM pink coolant. No problems. Took the coolant, burped it, let it run for like 20 minutes, all good. Put the cap on, went for a nice test drive, and it was a nice warm day. So perfect to test it out if it was gonna overheat. Squeeze back through, making a mess here. So about 87 degrees that day, and so went for a test drive for a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, and running completely fine, normal operating temperature. So I was like, all right, let's throw on the AC on full blast. That usually will stress it if it's overheating. Did that, perfect, cool. Drove it a few more times to work in like the next week and a half. Probably about 150 miles. No issues. Wednesday night on, what is that, the 2nd, May 2nd, driving home. As soon as I got on the freeway, temperatures shot up big time. So I pulled over on the side of the freeway, shut it off, started looking, see if I have a leak, best case scenario. I did not. I already had the worriness going in my head. I kind of had an idea what was going on. So I checked the dipstick. The dipstick didn't, it looked normal. So I'm like, what the heck, dude? What's going on? So again, I started it after I let cool down for a few minutes. It's like 2 in the morning on the side of the freeway in Fontana. And drove a half a mile. Heat shot up back again, climbing toward that H. Pulled over off the freeway, parked at a gas station. I was already, man, I need to get towed. I don't want to keep driving it like this. Keep getting it towed. Called roadside assistance. It was further than my policy, so they had to reach out to different tow truck companies to see how much they're going to charge me for the difference in the tow to make it home. So I waited like 15-20 minutes. Still haven't got back to me. I went inside the gas station. I got a bottle of distilled water. The coolant again was low when I checked the cap. I put some inside. Limped it home, 60, 55, 60 miles an hour. Keeping an eye on that on the thermostat, and it was kind of running right above operating temperature normal, right above it. And it was kind of just going a little bit up and down, but in the normal range, right above the normal range. Heater on full blast. Made it home. I already knew what was going on. You could probably already figure it out too, or probably have figured it out earlier while explaining this. Made it home. First thing I did was check that dipstick again. Looked milky. The bottom of it looked nice and oily, but the top was kind of milky. So already I was like, yep, blown out a gasket. So checked under. Next thing was like, okay, well, we'll have to definitely confirm once I drain the oil. But I had another thought. I guess it's kind of common too, was that to check under the oil cap. And sorry for showing you guys this. Yep, it's done. It was done. All that coolant wasn't low. It escaped through the head gasket seal, and 150 miles more, the rest of the coolant leaked into there. So originally I had a blown head gasket. The coolant drain didn't solve it, but it helped me get by for another 150 miles till it happened again, and I definitely confirmed that's what it was. Just straight gross, dude. So yeah, this engine is toast. Some people will say, head gasket job. These engines are not. Most people do not. They just would replace it because it's a lot less headache. It's basically the same price, maybe even slightly less, because to take off the head and resurface it, since it's aluminum, that's what you would want to do. And then new head gasket. It's already a high mileage car, so that's one of the main factors. Is it's already a high mileage car, 224,000 miles I just hit. So best course of action is engine replacement, sadly. I was hoping this engine will last me to get to that infamous 299,000 miles, 999. And then the dash stops reading. You'll never hit that 300,000. That's one of the funky things on these digital dashes. And yeah, so that's where I'm at with this car right here, guys. Really kind of broke my heart. This mine, just, it's a great little car overall. Really just kind of depressed the last couple of days. Really just kind of just keeping busy with work, family, not really trying to dwell over it. I'm too blessed to be concerned about this. I didn't crash it and total the whole thing. I'm lucky now. I have the Celica. This is what I'm going to have to do daily. So not a bad daily if you ask me. I actually just detailed it. Might as well just show you. So it looks a lot better than it did. Kind of cleaned up the sunroof, all that gunk that was on there, but I need to replace the seal. Fun fact, after researching it, this is an aftermarket sunroof, as in this car did not come with a sunroof. It was added on, and I believe it was by American Sunroof Corporation, because the button on the switch, I have a different switch than most people have. I don't know if you can see it. So yeah, that thing hanging right there is my switch right now, but my dome light is different than everybody else's. It's just weird that they would add that. If anything, it's more rare to find a hard top and leave it at that. It's just really weird. I don't know. So anyway, so that's basically I'm like I said, I'm blessed. I can't complain. I have this car to get me to work. Me and my wife share the Camry, and we also have the 4Runner. Not great on gas, but the thing's been tried and true, and we had that thing ready for like over 15 years, or no, 15 years already. We had that thing ready, no issue. So you know, I don't want to put any more miles on that and stress it on a long commute. I'm gonna use this 1 or 2 days a week, use this 2 or 3 days a week, the days my wife's off. So right now I'm on the hunt for an engine. I do have to find the 2ZZ that has the airport injection, because I do have the smog pump. This is the smog pump right here. It was on the 04s. So yeah, it kind of looks right here. This thing right here. So it's a smog pump, the airport injection smog pump. So I need to find a 2ZZ that has that. Which I guess a little bit harder to find. Most of them, you know, on Celicas, Corollas, they don't, or not Corollas, the Celicas don't have it, and the 03 Matrixes don't have it. And I guess you won't run it. You'll throw check engine lights if you run one without the airport injection. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to find a low mileage one. Low mileage for me is under 100,000. So if I can find one around that or lower, I'd be happy. I might switch over some parts later on, depending on how well the condition of those replacement engine parts are. You know, if the manifold looks a lot worse than this, I'll switch the manifold, make sure this one's good inside, maybe even get the inside cleaned. Hey, I have spare parts to use if I need it. If anything, I'll probably keep this engine and break it down so I can learn about it. Right now, I'm not very knowledgeable. I will not tear down an engine, internal or transmission. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Anything working outside of it, you already know me. I've pretty much done it already. It's probably in one video or another on this car. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, guys. So you won't Matrix content for a bit. I'm hoping to get it fixed as soon as possible. Shops quoted me way too much. I know a couple friends in the community, so they're gonna definitely help me out once I can find the engine, and we can make the time, you know, to make sure that we get it in as soon as possible. Make sure everything runs good on it within the warranty time. But I'll be back. I promise you. I'm just hoping maybe it's about a month before I can get it up and running, but only time will tell. It could be a couple months. I don't know. The sooner the better. If I have to pay a little bit more for the engine, I'll do that, but I don't want to break the bank on that. And the shops were definitely trying to, you know, basically sell me a goods and with a jug of Vaseline, basically, is if I was gonna go with them, getting quoted like $5,500 to $6,000 for engine replacement and labor. Way too much. That's basically, they don't want to do it. That's the price because they don't want to do it. So that's where I'm at, guys. So you'll be seeing probably some Matrix content. You see I got a Matrix on my mind. You'll be seeing some Celica content since I'll be dealing this. Probably do a little bit more maintenance, get it running a little bit better. It runs good, but I'm just saying, like, keep it running good is basically what I meant to say. Yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. So hopefully I can have this thing back up and running sooner than later. And I'm kind of bummed too, because I was gonna go to Toyota Fest the 2 weekends in Long Beach, and had my spot reserved. So that's not gonna happen. But if anybody's watching this that's still gonna go, have your car or whatever, I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna support. I have a lot of friends that are there. I want to see a lot of people's builds, get some motivation to get this thing fixed sooner than later, and get some content for you guys too, from the event. So, all right, guys, talking to the camera so much, but kind of wanted to fill you in on what's going on with this car, and definitely, I don't know what to say. Kind of bummed out, but I'm gonna keep busy. I'll keep the content coming one way or another. I'll try and get this thing fixed as soon as possible. I got a little bit of money put aside. I'll save some more. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.